Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. True or not true? While there's certainly no physical damage that's obviously observable, there certainly is psychological damage. After all, if someone insults us, after all, if somebody is angry with us, we get our feelings hurt. But I think we are not the only victim. I think, in fact, the perpetrator is a victim as well. After all, someone who is given over to constant insult, constant harassment of others, probably has some insecurities of their own. You know, it's been said that anger is drinking poison, hoping the other person will die. Well, it seems like the culture has a great deal of sensitivity and has adopted such concepts as political correctness. Sometimes you hear the phrase hate speech. So what is political correctness? I think what it is a way of neutralizing the effect of our communication. For example, the world calls it gay. The Bible calls it homosexuality. The world would say, oh, they were having an affair. The Bible calls that adultery. The Bible makes no attempt to sugarcoat, gloss over, marginalize, or otherwise reduce the effects of sin in our lives. They are serious. What about hate speech? Well, hate speech, certainly there is such a thing, and we should not engage in it. But that is not to say that we should not discern and express our righteous indignation, which is nothing more than agreeing with God. So, is getting angry and expressing that, however that is manifested, is that a sin? Well, I don't think getting angry is a sin. In fact, the Bible has plenty to say about getting angry. Let's look at Proverbs 12:16. Fools show their annoyance at once, but the prudent overlook an insult. It goes on, James chapter 1, verse 19. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. What about Ephesians chapter 4? In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. You know, I find it interesting that verse is sometimes malappropriated or misappropriated, and it's expressed differently. It says, do not go to sleep angry. And I guess that would hinder your sleep habits nonetheless. So, and some people have interpreted that to, well, I'm not going to go to sleep angry. I'll stay up all night plotting my revenge. Speaking of revenge, the Bible speaks of it in Romans 12, starting at verse 19. Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it is mine to avenge, I will repay, says the Lord. Now, on the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he's thirsty, give him something to drink. Here's the part I like. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. You see, God understands that we too have a need to be angry, to express that anger. So God gives us a way to make the other person feel like they've had hot coals thrown at. Yay, God. Okay. So anger by itself is not a sin, but we need to manage our anger. Now, how do we do that exactly? Well, you know, the other day I bought this this thing right here. It's called Rain-X, and it's windshield washer fluid. They also make anyway, so I'll put that in there. Let me show you the effect of what Rain-X does, as well as some other demonstrations of why Rain-X works, and we'll be right back.
So, what's my opinion about Rain-X Original? It works. How fast am I going now? 60? No wiper plates needed?
Folks, the reason that Rain-X works is the same reason a needle floats and is the same reason that a duck floats. Now, have been an avid duck hunter in my youth and early adulthood, and I'm amazed at the way God engineers things. Okay, ducks are incredible. When you see a duck on the water, obviously the duck floats. Well, is it because a duck's body is effectively a boat? Well, kinda. But there's something else. If you clean a duck and you pull off feathers and start cutting it up, getting it ready to eat, you will find that some of the bones in a duck's body are actually hollow, making the duck more buoyant. But that's not the reason a duck floats. A duck floats because they preen themselves. They have little oil glands all through their bodies. You'll see a duck, kind of doing his bill, and he gets the oil from that oil gland, and he applies it to the feathers, because you see what that does is creates surface tension. Surface tension is what makes the Rain-X keep your windshield nice and slick, and you don't have to use your windshield wipers. It's the reason the needle floats, and it's the reason a duck floats, because if it didn't have the surface tension, its feathers and the down underneath would become soaked with water and the duck would sink. So surface tension protects the duck from death, and I submit to you that we need to apply a thin veneer of surface tension to ourselves, and the insults and anger of others will literally roll off of us like water off a duck's back. How do we do that? Well, it's real simple, really. Just devote yourself to Bible study, prayer. How about devotional time? Corporate praise and worship, and certainly Christian fellowship and Bible study in a small group. I've said it this way. You know what? There is a mountain of factual evidence to justify feeling angry, depressed, happy, or hopeful. It's literally a decision that we make. You got a problem with that?